All right. You guys are live right now on hot7025fm.com. It's your girl, fine ass E. Carice. And man, listen, we have another hot light right here in the building, and I'm excited to get into it. Listen, this guy right here, he's from Houston. It's a little bit of Southern hospitality, I guess, come from Houston. It's a lot of risky business happening in Houston, too, so we're definitely about to get into that. But I have my guy, Jordann, Dwayne, in the building.
Hold on. Thank you for having me.
How you feeling? You feeling good?
Good. We blessed.
You got your sexy voice on? That's your sexy voice?
Oh, no, I just had, we gotta tone it down a little bit for the evening.
Oh, okay, so this is your evening voice.
Yes,
that's what we call it.
Yes,
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming through, hanging out.
Thank you.
So listen, you like on a tour right now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So where'd you come from? Where you just leave?
Look, we left LA earlier this morning, and we just got in a little bit today.
Why the heck did it take y'all that long to get here?
We drove.
It should take you 3.5 hours to get here from
LA.
LA.
We had to stop and see some sights, you know.
What sights did you see?
Just the rocks, you know what I'm saying? We stopped and just did a little sight.
That's almost here.
Well, yeah. So it took a little longer than expected, but it was a fun trip. Little detour, you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry?
Did you start from Barstow?
No, ma'am.
You did. See, that's the place you're supposed to stop. You're supposed to stop in Barstow. They have like this magical McDonald's. You don't eat there.
Oh, okay.
You don't eat McDonald's.
Facts.
But they have like a whole like a mall situation there.
Oh no.
See, and then they have like a train. The McDonald's is inside of a train. See?
Okay, we gotta go back to LA. We're gonna have to go on the way back there.
Exactly. Stop in Barstow for sure. So listen, how's you got some music coming out. We're gonna get into some of that in a little bit.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you started music when you were like what, 10 years old?
I was in the choir when I was younger, and I was in band in school, yes ma'am. But like recording professionally, 2015, but I started recording when I was 14, 15, doing the rap thing,
Okay.
So when I was younger, yes ma'am.
So like singing in the choir, like what you do sing lead?
No, backup vocals. That ain't me. No, I can't. I'm not the man.
What you sing?
Soprano.
Are you?
Soprano.
Are you? I'm a soprano too.
Yes, ma'am. It was a little strong when I was young, but yes, ma'am.
So now, what are you? You can still sing that octave?
Well, yeah. And then the crazy thing about I'm mixing that in with the new wave of how I'm doing on my music. It's definitely a lot more soul in my music now because I went from doing traditional just hip hop rap to more of like pop. And definitely putting a lot more melodies and stuff like that in. So yes, ma'am.
Okay, so are you writing all of your music too, or do you like have people that co-write with you? Or
hey,
what?
Shout out to my co-writer for sure, Suave. But everything I've written up to the last few months, the new project that we just did was actually the first time I've ever collabed and worked with a writer. But everything up to now, yes, ma'am. But shout out to Suave, that's my writer, yes, ma'am.
All right, so Suave, he's in Houston also.
Or she's in Atlanta right now, but she's from Houston, yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
we
ma'am.
have there's a gentleman in Houston named Paperboy. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he does like amazing beats. He has, he does some of our intros as well. But it's pretty dope, pretty popular too. You might want to link with that guy. He's a winner.
Yes, ma'am.
For
yes,
sure.
Ma'am.
For sure. So where else have you been? You've been to LA.
Yes, ma'am. Then we went out to San Diego too. We showed a lot of
San Diego's a good time.
Yes,
did you turn up there?
We didn't do that crazy. We just interviews and networking, yes, ma'am.
So you didn't even go. Listen, Jordann, you gotta go explore the cities too.
Man, we on a time frame.
Even if it's like 1 or 2 hours, you gotta explore because that way you can get a feel of the city a little bit.
I feel the culture. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can get a feel of where you can have events.
True. Yes,
where they can book you.
Yes, ma'am.
All that stuff.
I got you. We gonna tap in farther. We love the West Coast. The West Coast, we love it. We love it.
So were you born and raised in Houston?
Yes, ma'am. Missouri City.
Missouri City.
Yes, ma'am.
Where the hell is Missouri City at?
It's on the southwestish side of Houston. But
that's where the black people live?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, it's diverse, but yes,
it's the only thing that I can really do. Like, last time I went to Houston, I was on like 3 different sides of Houston. One of them, the black people live there.
Hey.
One of them, like the Hispanic people live, and the other part was like close to the airport.
So you definitely do have the east side of town where it's more predominantly Hispanic. That's just I'm not really sure why, but that's definitely more on the east side. But then when you kind of go towards the west, it's definitely more. I want to say African American predominant, but it's Houston's definitely diverse. It's just when you go to certain areas, we have a Chinatown. On the north side, it's definitely it's just different sides of town, but there's definitely predominantly stronger areas in different sides of town. Yes, ma'am.
Gotcha.
Yes,
So in your music, so you're sitting down, you writing, you got some. It seemed like I got a gospel vibe too on some of on some of these songs. So would you call yourself a gospel entertainer, artist? What does that look like?
That's crazy. Well, like I said, I grew up in the church, like Southern Baptist, so I think a lot of that energy and that vibe kind of rubbed off in everything we do. You know, I let a soul in the music, you know. So, and that's kind of why I separated myself from rap, because it just wasn't deep enough connection. You know, everybody, it's a lot of rap songs that's quick made, you know, they're good, but it's not that longevity, you know, with that, you know, until you're doing it on a different level. So kind of just switch lanes a little bit so you could have that feeling of like the older gospel, a little bit more soul.
So what would you call your genre of music? Like if you could make up your own genre, what would that look like?
I mean, I'm like now, and it's crazy because the project we just released it classified it as pop, but anything alternative, you know, pop, alternative new age, yes ma'am. Yes,
so
ma'am.
It wouldn't be alternative hip hop?
It could.
It seemed like it would be.
It definitely could. It's weird. Like I didn't actually upload it, but I don't know how it got dropped as pop, but it's been falling in the pop category, and it, you know, it hit the charts last night. So shout out to everybody in Dominica, but it hit the iTunes charts. So I guess pop is the lane that it was just meant to fall in. You know, yes ma'am. Yes ma'am.
Yeah, I think that you know, like with music, I feel like it's not even enough list of genres. You know what I mean? Because everyone has their own unique, you know, style and things like that. And then too, I feel like hip hop has like, you know, like it's genres within the genre.
Definitely,
you know,
definitely.
So I think that, you know, those are some things that we'll probably have to change later. But you know, I think alternative hip hop is a thing, and it should be a genre. It really should be.
Definitely.
Yeah. So tell me something I don't know about you, or that the people would want to know about you and your music.
Oh, something that they don't know about me? I work really hard. I work really hard to make a lot of things happen. But
and what does that look like? Like when people say, there are some people say, oh, you know, I'm on the grind. You're like, okay, you know. Some people think that they work hard, and you know, there's some of us who really do.
Yes, ma'am.
You
absolutely.
know, and for us that do work really hard, like it's not even a thing. We don't even think about it because we love doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so what does that look like for you?
Early nights, late nights, midnights of sleep, sacrifice, no fun. Spending on a budget,
you gotta get the fun in there.
it's the I mean, and that's the crazy thing. Like we, and you know, I told the team and everybody, like from last year moving to this year moving forward, like we're gonna have our fun time, but we don't got time to have fun right now.
Yeah,
we don't got time.
I think that for mental health, those things are important. I think when I you know, started my journey of entrepreneurship, like I'm like, okay, I'm working hard, I'm doing all of this. And I was tired, and I'm like, okay, you know, your brain sometimes has to release itself from the things that you're doing daily, in order to make you even greater. You know, and rest is like people say, oh, I'm team no sleep. Get your ass some rest.
No lie, yes ma'am.
Get some rest, because your brain will work 10 times better when you're rested.
I've heard that. That's true.
So definitely, you know, try that. Like even like I said, like take those 2 hours when you are visiting cities. Take those 2 hours and just like explore, just to like release your mind from the reason why you came there.
Yes, ma'am.
But it just helps your mental health for sure.
Hey, that's a blessing. I'm gonna take that advice. I definitely will. Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about so we'll get into one of your songs, but you tell me which one you want to play. We got 3 of them from you.
Man, did y'all get a celebration in
We
there?
did. We did.
Well, shout out to Major League B. Shout out to Suave, Lafayette Taylor, and Lauren Siobhan. We about to go up, but yeah, yes, ma'am. So that's just a single, a record that we put together, you know, and you know, when people pass, it's you know, it's a sad experience, but from down south, when sometimes people pass, they celebrate the life more than the passing of them, you know. So we wanted to put together a feeling of that all in one record, you know, letting people know, like, you know, it is a sad situation, but it's a brighter long-term opportunity.